When the first light of morning enters your eyes, it is not just the start of another ordinary day. It is a gift. Too often, people open their eyes and immediately dive into their worries, their plans, their burdens. But wisdom teaches us that the very act of waking is itself a blessing. There are countless souls who did not see this dawn, yet you did. This awareness should not be taken lightly. The simple recognition that you are alive, breathing, and capable of rising is the foundation of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely saying, "Thank you." With the lips, it is an attitude that transforms the heart. When you begin your morning with gratitude, you shift your focus from what is lacking to what is already present. The mind, left uncontrolled, always runs toward complaints, fears, and desires. But when you discipline yourself to see what is already given, health, breath, opportunity, even struggle, you create strength. A thankful mind cannot be easily broken because it stands upon abundance, not deficiency. The power of gratitude in the morning also lies in its ability to direct your emotions. Imagine two people. One wakes up and immediately thinks of debts, failures, and problems. The other wakes and silently acknowledges the gift of life, the comfort of a bed, the chance to rise again. Though both face the same day, their spirits are worlds apart. Gratitude is not about ignoring hardship. It is about facing hardship with the armor of perspective. It gives you resilience because it reminds you that even in difficulty, something remains to be valued. Practicing gratitude each morning does not require great effort. It may be as simple as sitting at the edge of your bed, closing your eyes, and silently naming 3 things you are thankful for. It could be the warmth of sunlight, the sound of your heartbeat, or the love of family. This small practice has immense power, for it awakens a flow of energy in your mind and body. What you acknowledge with appreciation, you multiply. The more you recognize blessings, the more blessings reveal themselves. To awaken with gratitude is to train the spirit to rise above negativity. It is to declare, before the world even speaks to you, that you have already chosen your state of mind. It is a shield against envy, anger, and fear. When gratitude becomes the first breath of your morning, the rest of the day bends towards strength, clarity, and peace. This is why gratitude must be the first step in your morning ritual, because it lays the foundation upon which every other practice will stand. Before thoughts, before words, before any movement, there is breath. Breath is the bridge between the body and the mind, the silent force that sustains life without demanding attention. Yet, most people pass their days unaware of this power, breathing shallow and restless, just as they live shallow and restless lives. To breathe with awareness in the morning is to remind yourself that life is not rushed, that strength comes from depth, and that every moment can be entered with calmness and control. When you first rise, the mind may still be clouded with dreams, and the heart may still carry yesterday's weight. A few conscious breaths act as a cleansing wind that sweeps away the dust of the night. Slow, deep inhalations expand the lungs, bringing fresh energy into the body. Long, steady exhalations release tension, worry, and heaviness. Each cycle of breath becomes a renewal, a reminder that you have control over your inner state, even if you cannot control the outer world. Breathing with awareness is also a discipline of focus. Inhaling deeply teaches the mind to gather, to stay present rather than scatter into distractions. When you place attention on your breath, you silence the chatter of thoughts. The inhale whispers patience. The exhale whispers release. Through this simple act, you are not just breathing, you are training the mind to obey rather than wander. This focus, cultivated in the morning, carries through the day, giving you clarity in decisions and strength in challenges. There is also energy hidden within the breath. Ancient masters understood that breath carries vitality, the unseen force that fuels both body and spirit. Shallow breathing starves this force, leaving you weak and clouded. But when you breathe with awareness, filling the belly, the chest, the whole frame with air, you awaken the inner fire. Energy begins to flow, stiffness dissolves, and the body feels alive. With every deep breath, you draw not only oxygen, but also courage, calmness, and power into your being. This practice requires no tools, no time beyond a few minutes, and no place beyond where you stand or sit. Yet its effects are profound. To breathe with awareness each morning is to remind yourself that strength is always within reach and peace is only a breath away. The world may bring storms, but the one who commands his breath commands his spirit, and the spirit is the true master of life. When the body lies still for many hours in sleep, energy settles, muscles tighten, and the joints become stiff. The first act of the morning should be to awaken this vessel that carries you through life. Movement is not only for health, it is for clarity, balance, and strength of spirit. A body that remains heavy and inactive in the morning drags the mind into the same dullness. But a body that is stretched, moved, and stirred brings forth vitality that lifts both thought and action. To move the body does not mean to exhaust it with intensity at once. It begins with gentle motions, stretching the arms toward the sky, rolling the shoulders, bending the spine, or walking with purpose. These small acts send signals to the whole system. The day has begun. Be ready. Blood flows more freely, carrying oxygen to the brain, sharpening awareness. The stiffness of sleep fades, replaced by lightness and strength. This awakening through movement is like lighting a fire within. What was cold becomes warm, what was slow becomes alive. The discipline of morning movement also carries a lesson, for the mind energy does not come by waiting, it comes by action. Many hope to feel strong before they move, but strength is created by moving first. This truth applies not only to the body, but to life itself. When you step into motion, hesitation falls away. When you begin with action, energy follows. Thus, the morning ritual of movement is not just a physical habit, but a spiritual reminder that progress is born from effort, not from waiting. Furthermore, the body and mind are one. When the body is tense, the mind becomes tense. When the body is lazy, the mind grows sluggish. By moving the body each morning, you loosen the knots of stress, and you also loosen the grip of doubt, fear, and worry. As your muscles lengthen and your breath deepens, the mind begins to mirror this expansion. The body opens, and so does your awareness. You begin the day not trapped within yourself, but expanded, connected, and alert. This practice need not be long, but it must be deliberate. Whether it is a walk under the morning sky, a series of stretches, or a disciplined practice of martial movement, what matters is presence. Each motion is a signal that you are alive, capable, and ready. To awaken the body in the morning is to awaken the warrior within. Steady, strong, and prepared to meet whatever the day brings. The greatest noise is not found in the streets, nor in the markets, nor even in the endless voices of the world. It is found within the mind. From the moment we wake, thoughts rush forward like an untamed river, worries of yesterday, tasks of today, and fears of tomorrow. If you allow this noise to rule you, your morning will already be lost before the day begins. But if you master the art of silence, even for a short while, you reclaim power over yourself. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of clarity. To sit in silence each morning is to step away from the storm. You do not need to push thoughts away with force, nor chase after them with attention. Simply let them pass like clouds in the sky. When you do this, you begin to see that the mind is not your master. It is your servant. You learn that you can watch your thoughts without becoming them. This space between you and your thinking is where wisdom is born. In the stillness of silence, answers often rise on their own. What seemed confusing yesterday may suddenly appear simple when the mind is quiet. What felt heavy becomes lighter when not constantly fed by restless thought. Silence sharpens perception. That is the number R to begin to notice things often ignored: the rhythm of your breathing, the calm of your heartbeat, even the subtle presence of peace that was always there but buried beneath the noise. This clarity cannot be found in constant talking, scrolling, or rushing. It lives only in silence. The practice of silence also strengthens discipline. To sit quietly, resisting the urge to move, to check, to speak, is to train yourself against distraction. In the beginning, the mind will rebel. It will throw thoughts at you, demand your attention, and whisper that you are wasting time. But if you endure, if you simply remain, the noise will soften. Over time, this daily silence becomes a shield. No matter how loud the world becomes, you carry within you a place of stillness that cannot be shaken. Even a few minutes of silence in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. You begin not as a slave to noise, but as a master of your mind. You carry with you the strength of quietness, which is greater than the strength of shouting. Silence is a weapon, a healer, and a teacher. And to practice it each morning is to walk into the day with clarity that others cannot easily disturb. The words you speak to yourself each morning are not mere sounds. They are commands to the mind and instructions to the spirit. Many people begin their day with silent complaints. I am tired. I am weak. I cannot face this. These words are seeds, and they grow into weakness throughout the day. But when you rise and choose words of strength, I am ready, I am strong, I will not be defeated, you plant a different seed, one that grows into resilience, courage, and clarity. Speech is energy, and when directed with intention, it shapes the path ahead. To speak power into your day is to remind yourself that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a master of response. Life will bring difficulties, but words of strength act as shields against them. A soldier does not walk into battle whispering defeat. He sharpens his spirit with courage. In the same way, you must speak to yourself with conviction in the morning, preparing your mind for the struggles that may come. What you declare becomes what you pursue, and what you pursue becomes who you are. This practice is not about empty phrases. Weak words spoken without belief are like arrows without heads. They fall before reaching their mark. True power comes when you speak with intention, with focus, and with feeling. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and let your words rise from the core of your being. Say them as if they are already real, and your mind will begin to accept them as truth. Over time, your body, your actions, and even your spirit will align with the power you declare. Affirmations in the morning also train the mind to reject the whispers of doubt. that is the number R, will always try to tell you what you cannot do, what is too hard, what is beyond your reach. But if you arm yourself with strong words at the start of the day, these voices cannot easily penetrate your spirit. When fear arises, the words you spoke in the morning echo back to you, reminding you of your strength. They are like anchors that keep you steady when storms try to shake you. This practice does not need to be long, but it must be daily. A single strong word repeated with focus can carry more power than hours of negative thinking. Each morning, before you step into the world, speak your power into the air. Let your own voice remind you of who you are and who you are becoming. In this way, you do not walk into the day waiting for confidence. You create it with your own breath, your own words, your own will. A man who begins his day without direction is like a traveler walking in circles. He spends energy, but he does not arrive anywhere. The morning is not only a time for waking the body and the spirit, it is the moment to set your path. If you only move step by step without knowing where you are going, you waste strength on things that do not matter. But if you begin each morning by defining your path, every step carries purpose and every action has weight. To set the path means to see the day before it unfolds. Sit quietly and bring into focus the important tasks, the challenges, and the opportunities ahead. Do not let the day surprise you. Prepare for it. A warrior sharpens his blade before battle. That is the number R that he has already entered the fight. In the same way, you must sharpen your clarity before the demands of life strike. This clarity turns confusion into order and makes the mind steady like a mountain. There is a great difference between being busy and being purposeful. Many people rise and rush into activity, yet at the end of the day they feel empty, for they only walked in circles. They mistook movement for progress. But when you plan the path in the morning, you put away distractions and focus only on what leads to growth. Each task you choose becomes a step along the road you have chosen, not a random wandering on roads that lead nowhere. The act of setting your path also builds discipline. When you declare your direction, you hold yourself accountable. The day no longer controls you. You control it. Obstacles will come as they always do, but when your path is set, you are not easily thrown off course. You know what matters, and you do not waste strength chasing what does not. This discipline, repeated every morning, creates order not only in the day, but in your life. This practice does not demand hours. It can be as simple as writing down 3 clear goals or speaking aloud the priorities of the day. What matters is not the size of the plan, but the clarity of it. Even a small path walked with focus is greater than 1,000 steps taken without purpose. To set your path each morning is to claim ownership of your time, your energy, and your destiny. The steps will follow naturally when the direction is clear. The body is the vessel through which the spirit moves. And if the vessel is neglected, the spirit becomes heavy. Each morning, before stepping into the demands of the day, the body must be cleansed and refreshed. Just as a warrior would not enter battle with a rusted blade, you must not enter the day with a body unprepared. Cleansing is not only about removing dirt, it is about signaling to yourself that a new beginning has arrived. It is a ritual of renewal, a declaration that you are ready to meet the day with. Water holds a power beyond its simplicity. When you wash your face in the morning, you are not only removing the residue of sleep, you are awakening the senses. When you drink water upon rising, You restore the flow of life within, refreshing the cells that worked through the night. This act of cleansing is both physical and symbolic. It removes what is stale and allows what is fresh to take its place. With every drop, you remind your mind and body that you are alive, alert, and prepared. A body that is neglected in the morning carries heaviness throughout the day. Our sluggishness in the body becomes sluggishness in thought. But when you begin the day by caring for your body, cleansing, grooming, refreshing, you carry yourself differently. The body feels lighter, the spirit feels sharper, and confidence begins to rise. Cleanliness is not vanity, it is discipline. It is the recognition that the outer world you present reflects the order and respect you cultivate within. Cleansing the body also clears the mind. When you stand before water, you stand before a mirror of simplicity and purity. The act itself slows you, reminding you to be present. Even something as basic as brushing the teeth, washing the hands, or combing the hair becomes more than routine if done with awareness. These simple acts remind you that strength is not found in grand gestures, but in consistent attention to small details. Discipline in the body creates discipline in the mind. To prepare the body each morning is to honor the life you have been given. The skin, the muscles, the breath, all are tools of your existence, and they must be treated with respect. When you step into the world clean, refreshed, and strong, you not only show readiness to others, but also to yourself. The body feels cared for, the spirit feels respected, and the day is met with renewed dignity. This preparation is not just hygiene, it is the first armor you wear against the world.